Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Kądzielska, and you are still watching Poland Daily Culture. We're here talking to two amazing guests. First is Wiktor Krajewski, the author, and with him is our heroine, Alina Dąbrowska, who he wrote a book about. To both of you, thank you very much for being here with me.
Thanks.
And we back to the story, amazing story of Miss Alina, who survived so many awful and horrible places and always finding something cheerful. In the previous episode, we told you, or you told us, how she was imprisoned during the German occupation, and she ended up in Lodz, so in a Polish city, there in the prison. And then, how many months did Miss Alina spend in the prison?
13 months.
13 months.
13 months, yes. From May until June next year.
From May until June in the prison.
Yes.
It sounds horrible. Wiktor, and when you're describing her again, you're telling about, for example, people who because it was her youth. She was less than 19 years old.
Yeah, that's right.
Becoming, becoming to understand the world in the prison. And you describe not only, I would say, the most horrible things, but you also write, for example, that there was a group of prostitutes, which, for example, she met there and learned also a different approach to life.
Yeah, that's right, because there was the whole, I can say, kind of people, right? It was some kind of a society there that we can divide into different parts. But for me, this is very important thing that Ms. Dąbrowska is really curious about everything or everybody that differs, right? And for her, it was really, to take a deep glance into strange people that she could meet during being in a prison, right? And yeah, I think that she was really, really curious about these people. And for me, it was really interesting to put this into the book, to show that not only people who were into some underground work involved, but also people who as you said, prostitutes, right, or strange disabled people, because Ms. Dąbrowska told me the story that there was a situation when a group of disabled people that look very, very strange because they were physically disabled came, and they lived there for, a few weeks, and later they totally disappeared, right? And for me also, the very important thing about this, prison moment was the fact that Ms. Dąbrowska found out that her mother is dead, right? And this was a really, really important moment. But there was the whole situation. There was a situation when the door were opened, and there was just one moment whether she decided to run from this prison or not. And she decided to stay because she didn't know what will happen after running from the prison, right? So, yeah.
I must say that also during my stay in prison, I learned that my brother is absent. So, but the parents didn't say that he's arrested. They said they don't know nothing about him. And so I tried to ask the man who I met, not now, but later in concentration camp. I tried to ask the man, maybe I have met my brother. But one of them said, no, your brother is dead. Many weeks ago. So
your brother was murdered in the prison.
And my father couldn't say for himself that he is dead, that my brother is dead. They disappeared, they don't know nothing about him, but they knew very well that he is not alive.
So when you were imprisoned, you were put into your mother died?
Yes.
And
in a book there is a letter from this moment when Ms. Dąbrowska was writing to her dad, why are you putting we in a letter? Whether I know that there is no we, there's only you. And for me, it was a really,
sad and tearful moment.
Sad moment, right? Because there was also an awkward situation when one of her, maybe not friend but colleagues from Pabianice, was also arrested, and she came to the prison, and she told Ms. Dąbrowska, Alina, your mother is dead, and it was like a really groundbreaking moment for
learning
Ms. Dąbrowska.
from the strangers.
This was during Spazir. We were walking, and she saw me. Oh, Alina, 2 weeks ago your mother is dead, and I said, you are not speaking the truth. It is impossible because my father didn't say. But afterwards, I wanted to go to the room because it was so sorry that I couldn't stay between the people. And then came the German and took me by the hand, go away. And so weeping, I was going all around the time during this day. And afterwards, I knew that my mother is dead. And also something, that my mother is dead on the day of the name's day of my sister. So all the family is going. I was arrested on the day of the birthday of my mother. She was 50 years old, and I was arrested. Then my brother was arrested on the day of his names, and my sister. No, so I just wanted to say these two things, that we were together.
Connected
Yeah,
somehow.
connected with our names, their birthday, and the people.
So that's the story of Alina Dąbrowska Bartoszek and her family, how she was imprisoned and in where she spent a lot of months there, and later she ended up in Auschwitz. And that we will continue in the next episode. Thank you very much for being with us.